Hi guys, welcome to the third tutorial of my new series called Learning Java. Previously, we made our first Java application which uses user input. Today, we will use the same general idea to create a basic calculator. Alright, so let's get started. First, we want to clear out pretty much... Actually, no, let's keep this code. So, after the user enters their name and the system greets them, welcome, we will ask them, uh, do you want to make a quick addition calculation? And then we can use the scanner again. The cool thing is, let's say you want to get two inputs from the user or multiple inputs from the user. You can still use only one scanner. You don't need multiple scanners to get multiple input. So what I mean is that you don't have to create a whole new scanner just to get the input for this question. You can still use the original scanner. All right. So let's okay. Let's create a new string, and the string's name will be answer. And then of course scan dot next line. So over here again we're creating a new string, and the string's name is answer. This is our variable. This actually is a variable, and then we're setting it equal to scan dot next line. So after this is printed out, um, whatever the user inputs here will be considered the value for answer. So now what we can do is create an if statement. So what's an if statement? A if statement looks something like this. You have this if thing here, and then you have this else. Now, these brackets is what you're going to test. If else statement is kind of like, um, if this happens, do this, otherwise do that. So over here is what you're going to be testing. I know we're probably going to get a bunch of errors saying because there's no parameters. And the parameters is what you're going to be comparing. So, our string answer, right over here, we're going to be testing if answer is equal to yes, then we're going to perform a calculation. Otherwise, we're not going to perform a calculation. I'll go into if statements in more detail in our next tutorial, but this is basically going to sum it up. So, in our parameters, what we need to type is answer dot equals yes. So what this does is it's an if statement, and we're testing that if answer equals yes, then we're going to be performing a calculation. And if not, we're just going to be saying goodbye to the user. So let's actually do that. Goodbye, and then let's use the name string again, just to make it look cool. Now, if the answer is equal to yes, if they do say yes, what we're going to do is we need two values from them. But since this is an addition question, we're only going to add those values. So what we're going to do is int var1 is equal to scan dot next line. Uh, my bad. Scan dot next int. We cannot use the line method here because the next line method for a scanner only applies to strings, and we cannot mix them in. So therefore, we have to use the next int method. I know you're wondering why, but it's just because Java's just kind of like that. Actually, every language is like that. So you cannot mix two different functions for two different types of data. So we have to use an extent. And then we're gonna tell it put line, enter next value. Actually, we should type the same thing above it, so they know when to type it. Enter first value, and then int number 2 is equal to scan dot next int, and then we're gonna create a new int. Okay, what's wrong here? Oh, whoops. Alright, so let's again go through the code, and then we'll execute it. First of all, actually, I should also teach you about the imports. The reason why it's here is because Java is a type of language that only grabs what it needs. Actually, pretty much every language is like that. I think except Qt, but I'm not too sure. It's a good thing, but it's a bad thing. It's good because then our application won't be like 300 megabytes long, but the bad thing is you have to import it each time you need something else. So we add the import for the scanner. We create our main method. This is what the Java application is going to execute. We tell the console, okay, enter your name, the scanner. We create a new scanner. We make a variable called name, which is a string. So that means it can hold letters, numbers, whatever. Uh, and we're going to the name is equal to scan.nextLine, which will read the next line typed into the console. We save welcome plus name, so it'll be welcome and plus whatever you entered in the console. And then we have system.outPrintln. Do you want to make a quick calculation? The answer, yes or no, will also be whatever they type in the console next. But if the answer equals yes, we're going to ask them, okay, enter your first value. They enter it in. We scan the next int. Enter the next value. We scan the next int. And then we get another integer called number answer, and we add the first number and the second number, and then we print out back to the console, your answer is this. But if they don't type in yes, they type in something else, we just say goodbye plus name, which is whatever they entered here. So this is a basic calculator, and if you go ahead and run this, alright, so right here, the console, enter your name. Sure, why not? First value 7, 89, 96. Ta-da, it works. Now, remember how I told you that strings can hold everything, so and pretty much anything, so letters, characters, numbers, whatever. The reason why we have to use integers and not strings when you're making a calculation is because you cannot add strings. Well, you could, but you could just add the text. You won't actually get the sum of two strings. It's like that for every language, so don't expect anything else. So thank you for watching, and our next tutorial will be a bit more in depth of the if statements, switch statements, and nested if else statements. Trust me, it's not complicated. I'm gonna make it easy.